Hey everybody, I'm that girl Goddess. My hair is a little mess, been rained on and all that kind of stuff. But nonetheless, I'm here to talk about dealing with jealous people. Sometimes you don't even recognize why a person will be jealous, but they are. Sometimes we walk around people and we see ourselves like I'm a female or you may be a male, and we're hanging out with people of the same gender. And you could be telling them about when I get home, my boyfriend or my girlfriend does blase split, and it be getting on my nerves. And then sometimes you be like, I think it's so cute. Sometimes these people, just because you're straight, don't mean the people around you is straight. And they be putting in their head, they be secretly in competition with the person you're with. And you telling them little things, they be trying to figure out in the head, how can they top it? How can they get your attention? How can they get you to believe that that person is not for you? We have to be careful who we entertain. Sometimes we have to go into prayer when we meet people and say, well, God, I need you to show me who this person is. Because sometimes you be wondering why somebody is just emotionally today is cool with it, and tomorrow they just flipping out on you. And a lot of times it's because they have a special interest and you hurt their feelings. Because you're happy with who you're with. You could have made a statement and said, well, I ain't gay. It ain't mean no harm. You like, I'm straight. I ain't into that. And secretly, they are offended. Then you find out down the line that they had interest in you. Now, I'm not saying you did anything wrong, but sometimes we got to ask God to put a watch before our mouth, because people are secretly into those things, looking at you, and they don't have emotional maturity. So they attack you. And we have to learn to pray over our relationships. Now, we can pray over relationship. If it ain't marriage, God ain't covering it. Okay? God don't cover sin. Hate to make that announcement. God do not cover sin. Okay? But when we have that significant other, sometimes what a lot of people do wrong is you wait too long to make it legal. And you lose out. And I tell people, it's not that many good people in the world. You don't need to do things that is delaying the process of keeping y'all together. Because sometimes people just get tired of waiting. It's not that they don't love you and they just figure you all about games. And I tell anybody, you've been in a relationship more than a year and they don't know whether they want to do this or do that, I'll be out. Be out. Don't let nobody play in your face and waste your time. Don't sit around, and I tell people, I don't talk about certain significant others, because if they don't put a ring on their finger, what's the purpose of talking about somebody who's don't have good intentions? I don't understand everybody don't want to be married. I get it. But it's no security. Even though they say a lot of people get divorced, that's because they flesh marry somebody that wasn't really designated for them. Okay? We have to be prayerful. But we also got to watch our mouth. Because sometimes we can say something like, well, I may not be gay. I don't have a problem with homosexuality or, bi or the alphabet crew. That's everything's, they cool. It's cool. And then you find out you didn't open some doors to a lot of stuff. And sometimes we just have to put out there and be adamant. Look, and I tell people, I'm straight. Always been straight. Wouldn't even consider anything else. I don't hang out with people that's part of that, because they always tend to be aggressively trying to hit on you, open the door, come on to you. And it's so disrespectful. Okay, it's just like if I knew somebody was in the home the alphabet crew. I'm not going to push people onto them. I don't want to be with someone I can't pray and have God defend me and mine. Now, what you do, that's your business. But I just state what I am. Do I wish anybody evil? No. I just want mine and have God on my side. That's the key. If I can't have God on my side, it's a waste of my energy. He lie, she lie, they lie. I ain't got time for it. People don't have standing power. They make all these commitments, but once the storm come in, once you're tested, once the relationship is tested, and they find out they got to fight all these devils and all this, and this, they ready to flee. And I always tell people, well, when people flee, I let them go. Okay? Because they say if you resist the devil will flee. But at the same time, if they don't have standing power and they don't feel that I'm worth fighting for or have value for me, what's the point? I also learned to tell people when I say be careful what come out of your mouth, you can be around your significant other, their family, and they can have certain members of the family picking at everything you're saying, lying, looking for a door, studying you, just to create an illusion to cause problems. People hate, secretly hate, okay? Looking for a reason to destroy your reputation, cause problems. And I tell people, if you ain't talked to that person personally, directly, I tell people, don't listen to that unless you know this person is going to tell the truth. And a lot of times you got to ask God to show you the truth. Ask God to bring it to you and illuminate it to you in a way that they don't even hear they telling you. Because people are so manipulative. And then first thing a person say when you catch them up, they're like, well, I was just talking, but I must have heard it wrong. They come with all kind of stuff, but they try to keep a door open still. And I tell people, to stay out of confusion sometimes, we have to put a watch before our mouth. Watch what we say. We can't put too much information out. I was always to say, like, well, child, it's my business. I don't care. Well, let's say these last 2 years, God has schooled me so hard. Okay? Some things now I get ready to say, I'll be like, okay. Keeping my mouth closed. Bought that lesson, still got the receipt. And sometimes I put a receipt in my car in different areas. And when I get ready to do something, I say, God, show me a vision of that receipt. I be like, okay, shutting my mouth. Okay, you just show me what this person is about. Sometimes we have to go be prayerful and ask God to keep us from talking too much, to keep our conversation around people that's not looking to bring harm to us. Because people will pick the smallest thing. You can say something like, man, I hate going to work. It ain't for me. And they'll go tell somebody else that you're interested in, she said she don't want to work. That's what she said. She ain't about that life. And they be like, what you mean? I get, you know what that mean? It means she ain't gonna get her money by working or a job. And they'll twist everything up. And then they'll get in front of you, turn around and say, yeah, tell them you ain't about working. You ain't about no job life. And you try to say, no, I don't like working. That ain't for me. But you can just, something you say. And then all of a sudden, people that you was interested in pull away and thinking, it ain't worth being in a relationship with them because they don't even work. I don't want nobody that don't have no job. And you label something, and then 6 months down the road, you get somewhere and you get to talk, and that person that you had interest in too, turn around and say something, say you'll be straight if you work, and you looking like, what you mean? I do work. I go to work every day. How else I'm gonna sustain myself? And that's when the truth started coming out. And they said, well, such and such told me, and then I heard you say it. And you were like, yeah, I said I don't want to work all the days of my life like that for somebody else, or, blase split. But I don't care if I like it or not. I'm still going to go to work every day. And, you straighten it out, and you'd have wasted time. You caused a delay because someone who was hating on you. And when people hate on you, they try to do things to block you, to keep you from going forward with foolishness. They plant demonic seeds. That's why I tell people, if I'm interested in somebody, look, I don't want to hear anything negative about them through you. Okay? I tell them in a minute, I don't want to hear all that about somebody. I'll say, now, if it's someone and they know you're interested in that, I'll be like, no. Because I don't need nobody planting no demonic seeds. If you can't say it directly in front of this person and that person straighten it out, I'll let God decide. Because people lie so bad. And some people don't even want you. They just don't want you to have nobody. I know some people that say, I don't have nobody, don't want to see nobody else have nobody. And then turn around and say, well, I ain't the type to get married and all that kind of stuff. You hang out with your kind. I can't help it. I'm just a 304. And they in competition when you walk in the room. And I also tell pretty girls, and this is something I tell myself, even like when I go to work, I tend not to wear makeup. And people say, why? Because I'm a pretty girl. I'm a pretty girl. And when you walk into a room and you're a pretty girl, they all mad. They all rolling their eyes. You got all these people hitting on you, and they'll get the line saying, well, the reason she putting that makeup on is because she trying to turn this one on, that on. You'll find yourself being called into HR for so many stupid reasons. They conniving against you. Don't hang out with some girls, because I tell people, don't hang out with ugly girls if you're good looking, even if you're average. You hang out with ugly people. Ugly people try to get your person, man or woman, fast. And they the begging type, and I'll do anything, and she ain't gonna do this, and he ain't gonna do what I'm gonna do. That's one thing I eliminate. Because then, and then they get in front of people, and ugly people, they'll see that person you want or something like that, and they create illusions. They'll walk over and hug them, kiss them on the cheek, and that person can just be a friendly person like we from the north. We always hug each other. And I just tell people, But to this person, they think you're involved with somebody. I had to tell somebody, because I'm a hugger. I'd be like, hey, what's up, baby? Run up and be hugging each other. And down here, I moved down to Georgia, and it's like, I can look at somebody, how you just give somebody a look and you just be waiting to see, okay, they coming to the window, I'm wait right here, I'm see what they got to say, they looking at me strange. And the way they interact down there is so strange, okay? And so you can just be looking, and they be like, yeah, I seen how you was looking at me, and next thing you know, they feel that you want them. I be like, man, I kind of miss being up north, because these people are so strange down here. The least little thing you do, you say hi, and you be like, hey, and I have a big smile. Oh, that means I want everybody. And I have to tell people, when I said I was Christian, when I say I love my spouse, I'm serious. I don't flirt with people. And that's anytime I was married, anytime I was in a relationship. I don't flirt with people. People just assume you're flirting because you have a nice smile and they make something up in their head. I have big dimples, so when I smile. I put my lashes on, and I can be, that's just the way I smile. And people, so many, oh, I thought you was, you was smiling. I said, what, I'm supposed to wake up frowning? No. Okay, God bless me to see another day. I'm always smiling, basically. And people interpret things because I have an accent. Oh, she trying to seduce me. No. And I never chase men. Okay? I wouldn't consider adultery, fornication. I really ain't interested in all those things. I just be looking at people like, look. And God let me see something when he said, birds of a feather flock together. And he taught me, this is my banana almond milk. It's pretty good. And this here, I keep my strawberry protein in this bottle. You know, because it's got a safety top on it. And when I put it in, I don't have to worry about mistakes and, you know. But it's 60 milligrams of strawberry whey muscle protein powder mix. Because this one right here, it will deplete your body of all nutrients. Okay? When you move to another community, different, you need to study it. But I done studied it. I'm doing what it takes. I take my vitamins. I gotta start taking more iron intake because it strips you fluid. If you normally drink, and they say at least a gallon a day, but it's also according to your weight. If you're a small person, you really need to look it up. But I make sure I drink like 1.5 gallons to 2 gallons because this sun is vicious. Okay, this sun is vicious. I also recognize down here you have to moisturize more because when I was living upstate in the north, when I say it's moisture in the air, I can put some Vaseline on in my face in the morning or something, or some other kind of moisturizer, oil of Olay, and my skin is fine for the whole day. It's pliable, it's soft. Down here, I can put Vaseline on my face and if I be outside an hour, my face is dry. Okay, it's dry. To the point, if I wait 3 hours and I scratch my skin, it be flaking up. And I'm like, what in the world? And I had to learn that I have to put in extra fluids and extra moisture on it. But I'm gonna end this video, but I'm gonna tell people, be careful what you say around people. Keep your personal life private. And them just some tips for life. These last 2 years, I done bought so many lessons that I have lived to regret. But y'all be blessed. I'm that girl goddess. Yeah, I'm gonna put my lashes back on. If you look, I do have lashes. And my lashes, you can't see them, but you can see them a little bit, but they're actually long. They're just blonde. I have blondish red lashes, so you don't see them directly unless I color them. Like right here, it's my lashes. You know, and if I can't pull them, yeah, I can. But nonetheless, I'm gonna put my lashes on. Even with my vision, going out in direct sunlight, I need to have a shadow come down because it'd be so blinding for me. And this is part of my prescription. I am light sensitive. So I'm gonna get on my job and put on my lashes. So y'all be blessed. Bye. Oh, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, and I really appreciate you.